What's up, awesome YouTubers? Ryan1988 or Justin back here to do a video for you guys, and this is going to be the final part in my Scream Factory collection. I hope you guys enjoy this video. I want to apologize for the gap, as usual when it comes to my videos. I had a lot going on, a lot of fun things, and work, so that kept me away from making videos, but I'm here to finish up my Scream Factory collection, so I hope you guys enjoy that. And I'm gonna get started because I got a lot here to show, but I hope you guys have enjoyed the Scream Factory collection videos I've done, and I have a lot more kind of collection videos I want to do, and top 10s, top 5s, and other fun things, and more updates. I actually have a pretty good Blu-ray update coming up hopefully this week, so stay tuned for that as well. But I'm gonna get started. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys enjoy this video. So, the first one, and it starts with M's, is going to be Mad Max. This is one of the non-horror related Scream Factory titles I have, and I think the only one, or if not two, non-horror movie related Scream Factory titles that I have. The first one's Mad Max. Mad Max, great movie. I really enjoy this. Definitely a different atmosphere compared to Fury Road and the other two Mel Gibson Mad Max movies, but still a great movie indeed, and this is an awesome release. I got this at Walmart for $12.98 when it first came out, and I've seen recently where you can actually get this in the $7.98 bin. So if you're a fan of Mad Max, if you want the Scream Factory edition, go to Walmart and check out your $7 bin or $7.98 bin, because you could find this edition. So very cool, happy to own this, and yeah, great movie. Really slow, so don't expect, like I said, a non-stop action movie, but it is a great film. And then of course I'll show you the original artwork there, so awesome. The next one is one of my favorite slasher movies and one of my favorite Scream Factory editions, and one of the best artworks I've seen on a Scream Factory edition, and that is Motel Hell. I love this movie, love this edition, and I love that artwork. I love the artwork because it kind of really stands out from a lot of the other artwork. And this one, I believe, was done by Nathan Thomas Milliner. I love it just because it feels like an old school VHS cover art for some reason. Very simple at times, kind of not overly done. There's just something about this artwork that I love. So, Motel Hell. And again, you get the original artwork there, which is great. So very happy to own that. One of the first Scream Factory editions I ever got, or Scream Factory releases, and that is The Nest, which is not a DVD Blu-ray combo, but it's the first time I believe this movie's ever got, not a DVD Blu-ray combo, collector's edition, sorry about that. It's not a collector's edition, but it's the first time this movie, I believe, has ever got a at least US release. And yeah, this was great. This is when Scream Factory, while I still love them, was really in their prime, because they were releasing a lot of like old school horror movies and thrillers you never really heard of, and The Nest was one of them, so very cool. One of my favorite, I'd say, thrillers, not really much of a horror movie, I'd say horror movie slash thriller, is Night of the Comet. Love this movie, a lot of fun. Very happy to own this. And, you know, I'm not a big fan of the original artwork that they have here. I'll show it. So I kept the new artwork, which I actually really like. I'm not too keen on the original artwork. I know a lot of people are, but for me, I actually really enjoyed the new artwork from Scream Factory. Just very cool. So, Night of the Comet. One of my favorite releases from Scream Factory, just because it is one of my favorite horror movies of all time. One of the horror movies I watch in October every year, and overall just a fantastic release, and that is Night of the Demons. Awesome, and it's loaded with extras. I love this release, one of my favorites, so awesome. And again, once again done by Nathan Thomas Milliner. When I first saw the artwork, I wasn't too keen on it, but it's really grown on me. And I do love all the colors and everything. And then of course you get the original artwork there, which is awesome. A movie that's actually grown on me quite a bit. I'm not a fan of the theatrical cut. I know a lot of people love it, and if you grew up watching the movie, I understand why you love it. But for me, I prefer the director's cut, and that is Nightbreed. Which the artwork's pretty good here. I like this artwork. I actually prefer the other artwork that came with the 2-disc limited set, but not too bad. And of course you get the original artwork right there, and it has a great documentary on the making of the movie. I really enjoyed that. It feels like almost 2 hours long. It's a pretty lengthy documentary. So I was really surprised with that, just because this was not the limited box set, and usually with the limited box sets you get all the bonus content, but they actually did a really good job with the bonus features. You don't get the theatrical cut, but like I said, I'm not a fan of that version. Like I mentioned, this movie has grown on me over the years. So the director's cut I'm really happy with. I haven't seen it in a while, so I'll probably watch it in October. The next one is a double feature. I only got it for one movie because I'm a huge fan of this film. But it comes with Love at First Bite and Once Bitten. And Once Bitten, I got it for that because I love that movie. I grew up with it, renting it all the time at a local video store on VHS, and I had the DVD, but once I heard they were releasing this double feature, I had to pick it up. I haven't watched Love at First Bite yet. I've actually heard pretty good things about it, so I'll have to check that out maybe in October. But Once Bitten, I love the movie, and just great film in my opinion. No bonus features at all, but for me, I'm just happy to own my favorite movies on Blu-ray. So, awesome. This next one is another film that I loved at first, then I slowly didn't like it because it was one of those movies my family used to watch over and over and over again. And I kind of didn't watch it for the longest time, but I always enjoyed the film, so I had to pick up this Scream Factory release, and rewatching it years later without having seen it, I actually love it, and that is People Under the Stairs, Wes Craven. Love that artwork there, fantastic. And then of course you get the original artwork there as well. So very cool. It has some really cool bonus features on it, some interviews. I also love the fact that you get the two lead parents, who are the crazy parents in this. They're in Twin Peaks and they play a married couple in that show, so very cool. This next one, I've always found this movie to be very enjoyable. It's crazy, it's dark, but I always enjoy this movie, and it's an early Brian De Palma movie, and that is Phantom of the Paradise, with really cool artwork. I had the DVD for the longest time, and I thought, well, I'll just stick with the DVD, but I rewatched it on DVD, and I love the movie, so I went ahead and I bought this for cheap. And this is, again, one of their early releases. It might be one of the second batches of movies that they released, but it is one of their early releases, and just really neat to own. I don't watch it every year, but every once in a while I will put it on, and I still enjoy the movie. And there you have the original artwork, which is great in my opinion. So, Phantom of the Paradise, happy to own that one. The next two are sequels to an original classic movie that I love, but I love the sequels as well, and part 2's really grown on me over the years. It used to scare me a lot for one reason, and you know why when I talk about the movies, and it is Poltergeist 2 and Poltergeist 3. These came out last January, or this past January, so very happy to own these. I love the sequels. I love the first one more, but I love this whole series as a whole, but besides the remake. I didn't really care for the remake. The first half was okay, and then it just got sloppy. But I love the first film and its sequels, so I had to own these. The second film definitely has grown on me. I think the reason why I never really cared for it too much is the old man Kane always creeped me out, and I never really watched it too much growing up because of that. But, you know, he doesn't creep me out as much now. He still gives me chills, I'm not gonna lie. But I love the movie as a whole. I think it's just a lot of fun. Definitely not as good as the first film. The only creepy thing about this movie really is Kane, but overall, Very satisfying sequel in my opinion, and great bonus features and original artwork there, which I love original artwork for most part. And then Poltergeist 3, I've always loved this, but again, it always creeped me out. I don't know why I was really fascinated with this one over part 2, but I think one of the reasons why I love this is it takes place in a different setting. Very unique. It takes place in a Chicago tall building, apartment complex, and I always found that creepy. And then the glass mirrors were always creepy too, so... But yeah, part 3, I love the movie. I know a lot of people don't like this, but I am a fan of it. So, happy that they finally released this on a proper release. So, Poltergeist 3. And then, of course, like I said, original artwork there. And I have a poster of that. So that's how much I love part 3. And then, again, another one of their early releases, and one that creeped me out when I was younger, but I've always loved this, and I've always been fascinated with the movie, and that is Prince of Darkness. Very neat. Love the artwork there by Justin Osborne. And then, of course, you get that classic original artwork there. Yeah, when they announced this, I had to pick it up. I'm a Carpenter fan, and I just love this movie, so Prince of Darkness. The next one is kind of one of their underrated releases. I really don't hear a lot of people talk about this movie, but I used to have a Region 2 DVD of this, and when they announced they were releasing it on Blu-ray for the first time, I had to pick it up, and that is Prince of Darkness, not Prince of Darkness, Prison. Love Prison. Underrated Rennie Harlan movie, underrated 80s horror movie gem, and just an underrated horror movie, in my opinion. Love the movie. I actually think it has a pretty creepy atmosphere to it, and just great effects as well. So, awesome movie, awesome release. Not really too much a fan of the artwork here. I think they could have cut out these two images here and just had the prison down below and the skeleton, or the skull head. Sorry, skeleton. What am I talking about? The skull head right there. I think that would have been cool if it was simple. Like I said, not too much a fan of that artwork, but I do love the original artwork, and actually the artwork that's on the DVD and Blu-ray. So, very cool. And again, one of their very first releases, I think like in the second batch of Scream Factory titles that they announced. So awesome. Going on, I'm going to go through these pretty quick. I have Psycho 2, Psycho 3, Psycho 4, and I have the remake, which some people, a majority of people hate the remake. I didn't like it for most part throughout the years, but rewatching it, it's actually not as bad as some remakes that come out today. So yeah, I like the Psycho remake, I own it, and it's a pretty awesome, it's a pretty good release. You know, nothing special. I don't think they were going to give this movie the best treatment, since a lot of people hated this film and hate the movie. But I'm glad they released it, because they released the sequels to the original film. So there's Psycho, the remake. Psycho 4, absolutely love this. It took them quite a long time to release this, but they finally did. And it's a great release in my opinion. It lacks bonus features, but it's always been one of those sequels that is underrated and never really has had a proper release up until this release right here. I know they used to have a triple pack with 2, 3, and 4 on DVD, but I was always bummed that when they released 2 and 3 on Scream Factory that they were never able to get a hold of this up until last year or so. But yeah, Psycho 4, I love it. Then you got Psycho 3. Honestly, my least favorite of the whole series, but I still find the movie very enjoyable. The best thing about this movie definitely is Anthony Perkins as Norman Bates. He's always great in these movies. But yeah, Psycho 3, pretty good movie. I enjoy it. And then Psycho 2 is my favorite sequel of the, or just my second favorite movie of the whole series. The original being my favorite, but Psycho 2 up there with it. I love it. And it's rare that a sequel that came out 22 years after the first film is actually really good, and it holds up still well today. So Psycho 2. Then we got Pumpkinhead right there. I love this movie. One of my favorite Scream Factory releases and one of my favorite horror movies. And again, you get original artwork there. Sorry about the glare. But yeah, great release. And if you're a fan of Pumpkinhead, I definitely recommend it. And then you got Pumpkinhead 2 Blood Wings, the only sequel I actually enjoy. Which is not saying much because rewatching the movie, it's not as good as I remember it being, but still a solid sequel that I'll put on when I watch the original film. So, but yeah, Pumpkinhead 2, fun 90s straight to video sequel. So, but yeah, cool release from them. I was happy they released it because I never really had a proper release of that movie. And then I do have Pumpkinhead 3, but it's just the DVD. And I like Pumpkinhead 3. It's not terrible. I think 4 I hear is really, really bad. So, but yeah, Pumpkinhead 2. Then one of my favorite releases, just because it is one of my favorite horror movies, and one of my favorite zombie films. I think my second favorite zombie movie of all time after the original Night of the Living Dead, and that is Return of the Living Dead. Awesome movie. And again, you get that awesome artwork there. So, fantastic. Very happy to own this Blu-ray. If I love a movie, you know, the bonus features, there's not a whole lot of new ones, but they do have a ton of bonus features on there from previous releases. But if I love the film, I'm definitely going to pick up the best edition to get. And I love Return of the Living Dead, so for me, this was a must-buy. And the transfer is really good as well, so very happy with that. The next one is The Sentinel, which is a great release overall. You know, bonus features, not the greatest. You know, it kind of lacks in bonus features. But the movie itself I love, and I never had any other release of this movie. So, very happy to own this, and I'll probably rewatch this again in October. So, The Sentinel, great creepy horror movie. Serial Mom, some people can call it a comedy, some people call it a horror movie. It's a mix of both for me, more or less a comedy. And I actually have 3 Scream Factory releases that are non-horror movie releases. Mad Max, Once Bitten, the Love at First Bite combo, and Serial Mom. So, one of the latest ones I picked up, very happy to own this. This was one of those HBO watches that I used to put on when it was on TV, and I used to just sit there and watch parts of it, if not the whole thing. But yeah, Serial Mom, happy to own this. Very cool release, some pretty good bonus features, and one of the John Waters movies, I have to mention this, that I actually like. I'm not a big John Waters fan. I do respect him as a filmmaker. I respect pretty much any filmmaker. You're going out there doing what you love, making movies. And, you know, he definitely stands out of the bunch. His films are very unique. This one really stands out of a lot of his work. That and Hairspray, which I love his Hairspray and I love Serial Mom. And those are probably my 2 favorites of his. But, yeah, this one stands out going back. It stands out from his other movies. More of a big studio title for him. But yeah, I do have respect for the guy. I think, you know, like I said, anybody can go out and make a film and have, you know, respect from a lot of people is awesome for me. So, Serial Mom, very happy to own that. And I'd like to see Crybaby. That's another one I'd like to watch. Again, another Scream Factory title. I'm kind of like everywhere in this video, and I apologize. But, Session 9, there we go. Very happy to own this release because I love the film. I think it's great. And they actually did some really cool bonus features for this release. So, but yeah, Session 9, I love that. Then we got Shocker, which I rewatched on Wes Craven's birthday or a day later. Loved the film. One of my favorite Wes Craven movies and one of his most underrated ones in my opinion. But yeah, you get the original artwork there. And it does have some pretty good bonus features on it. Love the soundtrack to this movie. Fantastic. Then I'm going to go through these pretty quick. We got Sleepaway Camp, Sleepaway Camp 2, Unhappy Campers, and Sleepaway Camp 3, Teenage Wasteland. I do not own Part 4. They did not release it from Scream Factory, but I just don't own the movie. Just a terrible film overall in my opinion. I love Felissa Rose in that and a lot of the returning cast members, but not a fan of the film. The first 3 movies though, I absolutely love these films. I had a lot of fun with these. Yes, Pamela Springsteen is in part 2 and 3. I think she's fantastic in it. And I also think Felissa Rose is fantastic in the original film. So, yeah, just awesome films in my opinion. And they come with original artworks, which I'll show you. This is the uncut version, by the way, of Sleepaway Camp. And you got Sleepaway Camp 2. And Sleepaway Camp 3. So, very cool. Then we got the Slumber Party Massacre movies. You got 1, and you got part 2 and 3 in a double feature. Part 1, one of my favorite slasher films and one of my favorite horror movies. Absolutely love this movie. You know, transferred bonus features from previous releases, which are great. And then you get a new transfer of the film, but that's pretty much all you get with this. I think you get 1 brand new interview with one of the side actors in this. But that's pretty much it. I got the movie because I love it. So if I love a movie, like I said, I'll pick up the Blu-ray release. So Slumber Party Massacre, I love that. And then Slumber Party Massacre 2 and 3, I just find these movies a lot of fun to watch. Part 3 is actually my favorite sequel, but I still love Part 2. They're a blast in my opinion. And when they announced this, I was happy to get it because I always wanted the sequels on Blu-ray along with the first film. So very cool. Not a lot of bonus features. Again, transferred bonus features, but you do get 2 different cuts of the movies. So I found that really neat. And then you get original artwork and 2 Blu-rays for part 2 and 3. So that was fantastic. One of their very first releases, not one of my favorite Wes Craven films. In my opinion, it's a little bit outdated, but it's still a lot of fun. And that is Swamp Thing. And I believe, yeah, this is the, I think there's a, if I'm correct, there's a rated version and unrated version. This is the rated version, which is PG. But yeah, just like I said, it's a fun movie. It's not one of my favorite Wes Craven films. A little bit outdated. Every so often I'll put this on. But it is a great release from them overall. And I'm really surprised this is not a collector's edition because they did new artwork and they actually released some pretty cool bonus features as well. So, but yeah, Swamp Thing, fun movie. I enjoy it. A newest one that they came out with, and I actually think this movie is a lot of fun. That's Tales from the Hood. Scared me as a kid, especially at the end. But it's just a creepy movie as a kid. Still some little creepy moments here and there, but for me, this is just a fun mid-90s horror movie, and it's a fun anthology film. Sorry, which I love anthology films. So Tales from the Hood, and you get that original classic artwork there. And it does have a pretty awesome, or a pretty good documentary on this. So, one of their very first releases is Terror Train. Absolutely love this movie. I love this release just because this was a film that always had just a, okay DVD release. But, this was a worthy upgrade in my opinion. And I love Jamie Lee Curtis, so definitely an upgrade. The transfer could have been better, but I think it's the best the movie's probably ever looked. So, not too bad. And when it's an old school horror movie, sometimes you gotta have that grain in there. But it has some pretty cool bonus features and just an overall really awesome release from him. And like I said, it was one of their very first releases, so that's what really makes it special. So, Terror Train came from their first batch of releases. The next one is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2, which was a must-buy when it was announced that they were releasing this. The best transfer of this movie, in my opinion, that I've seen. Fantastic artwork by Joel Robertson, and great bonus features as well. So, then of course you get that original artwork there, which is just classic. But yeah, happy to own this. I am a fan of this film. I really enjoy it. So, the movie They Live, a John Carpenter film. I had this on DVD. I got rid of it because I think back in the day I tried watching this movie twice and I wasn't as crazy about it as a lot of people were. But rewatching it years later, I actually find this movie to be great. I really enjoy it a lot. And I'm a big Carpenter fan, so even if I don't really like a Carpenter movie at first, I like to go back and rewatch them later because I just have a lot of respect for John Carpenter. So, and he's my favorite director. But yeah, They Live. Overall, great release. It has some really good bonus features on it. And rest in peace, Roddy Piper. So, very sad that we lost him. You know, I didn't really grow up with his wrestling, but he just seemed like a genuine, or just a really nice guy in my opinion. So, They Live. My second favorite, I would say probably second favorite John Carpenter movie. I've always enjoyed this film, but it's really grown on me over the years to love the movie. And that is The Thing. It's either The Fog or The Thing. That's my second favorite one. But I love The Thing. It's just an awesome movie in my opinion. And just a fantastic release. I still have yet to watch all the bonus features, but it is loaded with bonus features. So I really got to step up and watch those. But I do love the movie. I can watch this movie like once or twice a year, and it never gets old for me. I love it. So, The Thing. And of course, the original artwork there, which is classic. Going on to the last three, the next one is The Town That Dreaded Sundown, and it also includes The Evictors, which has its own standard release now, its own release that just came out, so I'll probably pick up The Evictors because I actually find it better than The Town That Dreaded Sundown. Still, The Town That Dreaded Sundown, Tongue Twisters, is a great film in my opinion overall. I actually prefer its sequel/reboot a little bit more, but I do enjoy this movie. I think it is quite creepy at times. But The Evictors, again, is one that I love, so I'm going to have to pick up that standard release. But yeah, just a really cool release. One of their first releases. Again, I think their second batch of Scream Factory announcements. And it has some pretty good bonus features on it. So, The Town That Dreaded Sundown. That is a tongue twister right there. Then we got John Carpenter's The Village, or Village of the Damned, not The Village. Village of the Damned. This came out last year. I grew up with this movie. Love it. Still love it today. Very underrated Carpenter film in my opinion, but a great one. So you got that really cool new artwork there, and the classic original artwork right there. So very happy to own this release, and one of the best documentaries on a film that Scream Factory has released. I really enjoyed the making of this movie. Very informative. A lot of things I didn't know that went on behind the scenes of the movie and when it was released, so it was very cool to learn about that. And you do have a lot of the returning kids who were in the movie come back and talk about the film. So Village of the Damned, great movie in my opinion. And the last one, and the final one in my Scream Factory collection, until I get new ones, is Witchboard. Witchboard, let me tell you, I was so excited when they announced this release because I absolutely love Witchboard. This was a VHS rental over and over and over again. I had the DVD. I always wanted behind the scenes making ofs of this movie, documentaries, and so when Scream Factory released it, I was happy with that, and it does have a lot of bonus features. Which my only disappointment with this movie is it's not a collector's edition. I don't know why they didn't do a collector's edition with it, because with all the bonus features, it could have easily been a collector's edition. But overall, I am very pleased with this. This is one of my favorite Scream Factory releases just because it is one of my favorite horror movies and one that I've always wanted a proper release of, and this is the proper release. So, Witchboard. If you've not seen this movie, check it out. I will probably watch it this October. That's how much I love this movie. I can watch this movie 2 or 3 times a year. So, love the film. But anyway guys, that is going to be the final part in my Scream Factory collection videos. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Sorry for the delay from part 2 and part 3, that big gap. But like I said, I had a lot going on, a lot of fun things. Yeah, I wanted to wrap this up, so I hope you guys enjoyed this. I apologize for all the tongue twisters. I swear when I don't make a video for at least 2 or 3 weeks, I always have tongue twisters. But I keep it in here, I don't really edit my videos, so hope you guys don't mind that. So, thank you guys so much for watching, like I said. Everybody have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you guys later. So, as always, you guys are awesome, you guys rock, and go eat some Skittles. Alright guys, and in with the positive, out with the negative. Alright guys, bye.